Dust and echo in the gym. Bench is cracked, the lights gone dim. Shadows stretch like secret doors across forgotten wooden floors. I came to kill some time alone, but stumbled on a ghost unknown. A handbrush paint that hadn't dried from days where echoes used to hide. A mess of doodles, hearts and flames, bad kanji jokes and random names. But there it was, no neon sign, just faint and tilted, his then mine. A single stroke, a cryptic tag, as if the wall had dropped a flag. I froze, but not from fear or chill. That name could never feel so still. Graffiti said it first, not me. In crooked lines for none to see. He carved it there before the start, before I even knew my part. While no one looked, he left a clue of something real I never knew. And now the past ignites and bursts, 'cause love was born where chalk still hurts. I thought it started just this spring, but he had tagged me everything. They say this gym's condemned and dead, but it just whispered what he said. A line so light, a mark so small, yet it flipped my whole free fall. What else did I misread or skip? Was every look a paper ship? He never said, he never tried, but his name stood where secrets hide. Maybe he drew it as a joke, a silly dare, some quiet poke. But still my heart began to race, as if I found our hiding place. The air grew loud, the moment blinked, and every puzzle piece just linked. You can't erase a spark once lit, especially when walls commit. Graffiti said it first, not him, but now the lights don't feel so dim. He left a map and scroll disguise, and I've been walking through the lies. A scribble deep, a claim so bold that even silence can't withhold. I used to think I'd only dream, but there in paint we both had screamed before the world could shout or curse. His fingers wrote me down in verse. No camera flash, no grand reveal. I think that time forgot to steal. Yo, something shook inside my core, like I had knocked fate's hidden door. And if he meant it even then maybe this was ours back when. Before the blush, before the chase, he left my name in time and space. Graffiti said first too late, but now I see it wasn't fate. It was a choice, a trace, a mark that lit a fire in the dark. He didn't speak, but still he wrote a future cast in anecdote. While everyone just passed it by, we started neither knowing why. A name, a curve, a dusty burst, but still graffiti said it first. Shoes soak through umbrella snapped. Sky went rogue and didn't nap. Lightning danced on every street. My headphones drowned in pounding beat. Late train, no text, soggy socks. Each step cursed the ticking clocks. I braced for silence past the gate, but something shifted at the wait. The door creaked loud like stage cue lines. I saw his shape beneath the blinds. No words, just arms and folded cloth. A towel like some sacred oath. He tossed it once, then looked away, as if his care might go astray. He never talks, avoids my eyes, but that one act undid disguise. And I cried, but didn't dare. From rain or warmth, I'm not aware. His hoodie hung like armor thin, but somehow let the soft sneak in. He didn't joke, didn't explain, just saved me from my private rain. And in that flash of brother code, he lightened up my heavy load. So strange, so fast, so kind, so late. His towel turned to twist my fate. He's the king of slugs, whatever. Our combos rarely last forever. He's bad at names, forgets my friends, just grunts and hides when school day ends. But that night, tripping by the door, I saw a side he never wore. The silence spoke pants wrapped in fabric blue. No movie scene, no grand reveal, just sloshy shoes and what I feel. But in that second, soaked and stunned, I saw the bond that always runs beneath the games, beneath the walls, a thread that answers sudden calls. And though we fight and though we drift, his towel gave a quiet gift. I didn't cry, but came real close, as warmth replaced the thunder's dose. He didn't change, won't say a word, but I heard everything I heard. His care was silent, rough and fast, but still it's one that's built to last. No hugs, no tears, just hallway light, and knowing he got something right. So strange, so him, so loud, so still. That towel proved we always will. Scroll again at 12:03. Anonymous but speaking me. No name, no likes, just words on fire that slice through screens and never tire. Each post a mirror turned askew, a riddle dressed in midnight blue. I'd save them like forbidden spells and whisper them inside my shell. They wrote of storms, a fading light, of wanting more but losing the fight. A poet hiding in the dust with metaphors too sharp to trust. Still every night I'd wait refreshed to read their soul in bleeding mesh. I never guessed who held the pen, but hoped they'd write of me again. Then one day in class, so still, he doodled lines that matched the quill. Not word for word, but close enough to rip my quiet world in half. That secret voice behind the glass was him, the boy I'd always pass. No follower, no verified, but now he's burned into my sky. He never tagged, he never told, but ink and truth are never cold. I watched him hide behind his bangs and sip his tea while silence rang. But in his notes on margin lines were universes half designed. He tossed them like they meant no weight, but I could see the shifting gate. My midnight poet seat, row 3, was breathing right in front of me. He didn't post for hearts or fame. He wrote to bleed without a name. But now I knew and couldn't stay inside the screen and fade away. I met his eyes, he looked confused, and that's the moment truth was loosed. He mouthed the phrase I knew too well, the verse where all my silence fell. Then one day the masks collapsed, the poet's voice and boys overlapped. No more anonymous to blame, just ink and glance and burning name. I felt my world explode in rhyme, as if I'd crossed some hidden line. I used to chase a ghost each night, but now he sat in classroom light. He wrote me once, he writes me still, this chaos born from silent quill. No retweets here, no viral trend, just breath and graphite trying to mend a truth too fragile for a feed, but screaming underneath the need. He doesn't know I read it all, every metaphor and stifled call, but maybe now the words can land. He's holding both my world, my hand. Now every night I wait less hard. I see the poet in the yard. His words still burn, but now they heal, and now I know they're truly real. He wrote of stars, of ink and sea, of some that he hoped dared to see. And now I do, and now I run to chase the lines that just begun. He carved my name in unseen chills, the boy behind that midnight quills. First period, same tired chair. My brain half on, blank morning stare. Teacher Nostalgia drones, the clock won't move. Chalk like snow with nothing to prove. Then something twitches past the pain. My pulse ignites, I can't explain. Outside the glass, a face just mine, but with a smile that isn't kind. I blink, I freeze, I breathe too loud. The class is quiet, thoughts unbowed. She tilts her head and so do I, like echoes from a wrong reply. She lifts a hand, I don't recall, but something deeper starts to fall. Then just behind, his voice cuts through. He whispers calm, that's not quite you. You're dreaming, girl, he softly said. And in that second, dream was dead. The glass dissolved, the lights grew bright. I snapped awake from shadowed flight. But something stayed beneath my skin, like I just left where I had been. He caught my fall with just one phrase and shattered through my mental maze. Now I don't know what's fake or true. Was it her? Or was it her? Or was it you? I laughed it off, said weird I guess, but still my spine could feel the press of watching eyes and doubled breath, like I just dodged a stylish death. He shrugged like dreams were coins to flip, but something lingered in his grip. His voice too calm, too close to shore, like he'd seen that girl before. What if he walks their dreams as well? What if he knew where I had felt? What if that line, that perfect cut, was scripted from a deeper gut? I glance again outside the pain, and now the sky don't look the same. Was it a glitch, a warning sign, or some small war that crossed the line? You're dreaming, girl, he said so light, but it still echoes in my night. One simple phrase, but carved so deep, it rewrote how I wake or sleep. He knew too much or guessed too true, and now I can't unsee that view. He shook my mind with just one glance and pulled me from a mirror trance. That wasn't sleep, that wasn't play. He ripped my fake world clean away. No blood, no bruise, no monster call, just me and me outside the wall, and him just calm like he's always known that I'm not quite my skin and bone. What if I slipped through some cracked frame? What if my name's not just my name? He looked too close like I was glass, and smiled like he'd watched time collapse. You're dreaming, girl, he said, then gone, but now my heart won't move along. I check the windows twice a day to see if she has more to say. In the back of the science clean, the broken tools and rumors gleam. A dusty drawer, a metal twist, a ring that pulsed like lightning's fist. I slipped it on, no magic cue, just shimmered once in plasma blue, but then it flared and then it burned, and suddenly the world tide turned. Not voices now, but colored haze, emotions bleeding into rays. The teacher glowed in sleepy green, and boredom buzzed like tangerine. But when he passed, just walking by, the ring ignited pure and high, a blinding red, a searing spin that wrapped me tight from limb to chin. He burns in shades I can't forget, my name unread, my words unsaid. He walks and light erupts from skin, and I begin to cave within. I see the truth no eyes could catch, his feelings like a you're glowing red. I traced his path through crowded halls, a streak of fire against the walls. No one else could see the glow, just me, the ring, and all I know. A flicker near, a silent heat. He never speaks, but I repeat his name inside like counting breath, like one wrong word might summon death. Why red, why me, why can't I ask? I watch him like it's some old task. A code I crack, then fear too much. A map I hold but dare not touch. He sits in class, a comet still, but blushes with a forceful will. And every pulse beneath his skin just pulls my silence out again. He burns in colors built to hide, but now they leak and won't subside. He laughs and red explodes again, and I dissolve like tangled rain. I want to reach, I want to say, I see your feelings every day. But what if that just makes it fade? What if red turns into gray? So I just stare, my heart misread, while he keeps walking glowing red. This ring's a gift I never chose. It tells the truth no one else knows. And though it shines with secret lore, it's him, not it I'm aching for. He shines for me or shines despite, but I'm the one who sees the light. A curse, a crush, a flare too bright that makes me scared of saying right. He burns in red, I can't contain a wildfire framed inside my brain. He doesn't know, he sets the scale of every dream and silent tale. I almost call, I almost run, but fall instead, he is the sun. I whisper names I can't complete while he just passes down the street. And though I never dare to plead, the ring still glows, my hands still bleed. My hands still bleed. Fake sky, real stars, neon moon. Our school trip launched in code too soon. We stood on cliffs not built by stone, inside a world we don't own. He never spoke in classroom rows, just nodded once and watched it go. But here he is in pixel skin, with words too warm to hold within. He turned his eyes a shade too bright, his voice like velvet dipped in light. He laughed and said it's easier to talk when no one's really here. No stutter now, no looking down, just weightless jokes in VR town. He floated near, then blinked away, but left me rewired all the way. In this world where nothing's true, he showed me more than real ones do. Behind a mask he came alive and pierced me like a dead dive. I wanted to reply, to scream, but felt the lag between the dream. He said it's where he finds his peace, but I just felt my breath decrease. He smiled so soft, my code went blue. I think I fell for Avatar, you. He builds himself from lines of code, no glitches when emotions load. No eyes to dodge, no voice to break, no second guess in every ache. He walks through clouds, not classroom tiles. He speaks in full, not half-formed trials. But I still see his desk at school, where silence clings like ancient rules. I knew his voice from study hall, a quiet echo near the wall, but never knew he had this glow of freedom only fakes can show. He turned to me with pixel grace, and something cracked behind my face. I like me here, he said, then spun. Feels like I'm finally someone. In this world where truth is bent, he gave me more than real intent. He danced through cold like he was free, and somehow tapped a part of me. My heart misfired, my hands stayed cold, but still I watched his story unfold. He's braver when the world's not real, but that just made it more to feel. His laugh was soft, his story stayed true. I lost my calm to Avatar, you. I wish he'd glitch into my life, not just this cloud of digital light. He plays it covered, fill the class like morning rays through frosted glass. I wish I hadn't felt that twist, the kind that's sharp like lightning beside the main. In this world of wires and dreams, he told me things in laser beams. He touched my name without a hand and made my silence understand. He's quiet there in hallway shade, but here he shine like unafraid. I feel this breaking through, but I'm in love with Avatar you. Footsteps scatter down the hall, lockers slam, announcements call. But when he walks, the world forgets. My breath, the floor, the clock resets. A flicker, not enough to speak, but just enough to make me weak. He looks, I blink, the second bends, and time pretends it never ends. They pass him by just unaware of how the stillness grabs the air. But I've been counting every pause, the glitch inside the school day's loss. It's one tick lost, then all resume. Yet I'm still floating past the room. He never knows, he never asks, but I relive it like a task. 1 second is a yes or no, a universe in undertow. He doesn't stop, he doesn't wait, but I decide the twist of fate. Each glance is loud, though no one hears a silent scream behind my ears. I walk away, but never through, because that second replays you. And maybe he just sees a face, but I am building time and space. He turns the corner, I hold breath. My heart rehearses life or death. The hallway fades, the colors stretch like dreams you never quite can catch. He glides like he's not built for Earth, but somehow walks beside my worth. One shoulder pass and I combust, like futures cracking into dust. What if he knows and plays along, a quiet prince in hallway song? Or maybe I'm just glitching loud, while he's a blur behind the crowd. But still I wait for that same spot, to feel that second coming hot. I never speak, I never stray, but I choose him again today. 1 second is a yes or no, a domino in full echo. He doesn't nod, he doesn't pause, but still I break the time-bound laws. A frozen frame, a fever snap, a universe between each tap. I move, but all I want is still to let that second bend my will. I think I'm brave but can't confess that one small glance means I said yes. There are no witnesses, no sound, just me and seconds breaking ground. If love begins before it's named, then I'm already half inflamed. It's not a crush, it's something bent, a soul that missed the accent. Still I walk past and climb my worth, still choose the slurs and skip the rest. He doesn't stop, and yet I guess that one small second is my yes. Seats recline, the lights went low, planets spun in silent glow. I shut my eyes, pretended peace, while galaxies began their feast. He sat beside, a breath away, our shoulders brushed a quiet play. across my chest. I played the stillness, failed the rest. My breath betrayed my frozen game. He named a star and wore my name. Did he mean it? Was it play or cosmic fluff he tossed my way? But even if it fades by dawn, tonight that starlight's never gone. He sat so calm like nothing slipped while I rewrote each syllable script. I felt like Saturn out of rings, a chaos held by tiny strings. What do you do when words collide? When constellations won't just hide? My heart began to spin askew, like planets caught in something new. I faked my sleep, but heard it clear. A universe between my ear. He cracked my quiet with one thought, a nebula that burned and caught. He said it soft, he said it still, but every vowel bent my will. And now I'm drifting full of flame toward a boy who spoke my name. I'm not asleep, I never was. He sparked a war inside because no telescope could see this shake. No chart could trace the thrill I fake. If he forgets, I'll let it be. But it's carved in galaxy in me. A sentence simple, tossed and gone. But I replay it like a song. And if I flew or storm on my uniform, whisks like weapons, batter warm. One tray in and time betrayed. Smoke alarms in sweet cascade. Laughter echoes down the row. Mine turned black while theirs turned gold. I wore defeat like frostic shame. One tiny oven, one huge flame. I hid my face in mixing bowls. My pride dissolved in sugared holes. Was it the timer? Was it fate? Was I just 5 steps too late? I clenched my spoon, I bit my lip, ready to sink this kitchen ship. But then behind me something changed. A cookie offered warm unstaged. You don't just bake to pass a grade. You bake to watch the moment fade and turn to memory you can taste, even if it's scorched in this place. He grinned and held that crispy bite like it was glowing in the light. His words half joke, still carved the truth and stirred the ashes of my youth. It's not the sugar, it's the flame that burns a heart and writes your name. Measuring cups, but not my worth. The kitchen floor became my earth, as if the dough knew all my fears and smeared them in 1,000 tears. But he just leaned with powdered hands and rewrote failure where it stands. It's still a cookie, just with edge, and now it's got a story wedge. The other trays look clean, precise. Mine looked like meteorites, but in his gaze they weren't wrong. Just part of some chaotic song. And somehow I began to laugh. Mid-burn disaster found my path. A cookie's not a perfect score. It's who you share the crumbs with more. You don't just bake that burns the brightest into lives. Now every time I smell that burn, I feel a shift, a gentle turn of buttered dreams and flooded fears of one kind word across the years. And maybe next time mine will rise, but I'll still hold that same surprise, that something cracked can still be sweet, and hearts don't need to be complete. You don't just speak for praise or score, you beg to leave a little more of who you were. Every same cafe seat, each Friday train, same latte foam, the window rain. He takes the booth beside the glass, we never speak, just let it pass. 30 minutes every week, no glances traded, silence sleek like strangers choreographing fate inside a world 5 minutes late. I watch the steam rise from his cup while flipping pages. I don't love his earbuds in his gaze on air, yet every breath is sync somewhere. I time my sips to match his pace, pretend we're ghosts who share the space. No bold hellos, no reason why, but still I'd miss it if we tried. Then one day my name's in ink, scribbled small beside the drink. See you next week, just those words, enough to knock my calm absurd. He broke the script with one small line and cracked the clock I thought was mine. A routine turned to quiet boom inside that noisy cafe room. I smiled before I thought it through. Caffeine, silence, and surprise text you. Drawn in quiet threads, unspoken thoughts in coffee reds. I learned his moods by posture tilt. He sips like guilt, he stirs like wilt. I told myself it meant just A, that shared routine means less than care. But hearts don't track what minds erase, they memorize a silent face. Was I a fool to ever think that silence isn't just a sync? But now with just one ballpoint note, the whole room shifts, the air rewrote. My fingers tremble, lips go tight. I'm not prepared for this invite, but still I hold that paper in like it's a map that leads to him. Then one day my name's in ink, no lightning, but I start to blink. A single sentence broke the wall that I had climbed without a fall. I'm panicking but wanna scream, this ain't a dream, this ain't a dream. The world just flipped in half a brew, like it's a map that leads to him. Then one day my name's in ink, no lightning, but I start to blink. A single sentence broke the wall that I had climbed without a fall. I'm panicking but wanna scream, this ain't a dream, this ain't a dream. The world just flipped in half a brew, one message echo in the room. You didn't shout or change your tone, just let me feel not so alone. A lowercase, no hearts or flare, but still it caught me unaware. You turned the clock from gray to gold, with ink that made the quiet bold. I sip again, I breathe anew. Caffeine, silence, and surprise text you. One morning music ceased to be. No hums, no songs, no symphony. Classrooms mute like frozen clocks. Even footsteps drop their talks. No ringtones, no vending chimes, just silence stretching over time. They called it glitch, some global curse, but hush became the universe. Yet through the blank and static air, one voice remained, it wasn't fair. Yours rang on inside my head, while everyone heard blanks instead. A memory, no two alive. Each lyric moved, each note survived. I walked through void, but not alone. Your chorus etched into my bones. Everyone lost their songs but me, and yours became my symphony. You're the glitch that won't erase, the one be left in outer space. While the world went mute and gray, you hit play inside No birds, no bikes, no school bell cheer. Just eyes that ask why can't we hear. But I just smile and nod along, because your voice still feels like song. It loops in ways I can't explain, like whispers carved into my vein. You sang once on a rainy walk, and now the storm won't ever stop. They search for answers, blame the skies, build apps to simulate goodbyes. But I kept you my pirate track, a stolen world that plays you back. Is it strange? I don't want it fixed. Let silence stay, let them be mixed. Cause in this hush I get to keep a secret only I can reap. Everyone lost their songs but me. You stayed like pumpkin symphony. You're the anthem in my veins, a rebel pulse that still remains. They beg for chords to come again while I'm sing to your refrain. If this is madness, call it art, cause you still sing inside my heart. The world's on pause but I broke through. Playlist zero except for you. What if I hum and they all stare? What if I'm the glitch they wear? What if your song's not stuck in time but growing louder line by line? Will they fear it? Will they hear it? Will they break it just to clear it? Then let them try. I've memorized the part where your voice never dies. Everyone lost their songs but me, while you rewrote reality. You're the rhythm they can't find, the melody that bends my mind. They chase silence, praise the void, but I'm the one they can't avoid. I hold the sound they try to lose. Playlist zero except for you. One track left and it's not gone. You are the song I live upon. Sidewalk cracked beneath our feet. Sunset spilled on every street. Laughs behind us loud and crude. You're dating right, what a mood. You didn't flinch, just looked ahead like rumors didn't paint you red. While I froze up a silent mess, staring down your bold finesse. You didn't say a single word, but silence screamed the things I heard. Not denial, not a joke, just quiet like a secret spoke. You walk like nothing had occurred, but I was burning page unturned. Your profile sharp like evening light, too calm, too tall, too out of sight. Say it loud or say it never, but don't just act like this is clever. If we're a rumor, let me scream, but if we're real, define this dream. You set my pulse to strobe and spin, while playing cool with half a grin. I hate how much that silence said. You broke my calm, you turned me red. So if this walk's not just pretend, say it wrong or say the end. Crosswalk blinking, hearts on hold. I bite my tongue, too shy, too bold. You check your phone like nothing's wrong while I rewrite our past this long. Did you know what that pause could do? You handed me a maze to chew. I'm spiraling in just one glance, like I'm trapped in some slow dance. I count the cracks, I dodge your gaze, still waiting for your cryptic phrase. Do you like the way they tease? Do I look like I'm at ease? A million answers I could fake, but every breath is mine to break. I thought I knew your rhythm tone, but now you play a different zone. Say it loud or say it never. This halfway silence pulls the lever. If you're not mine, then just be clear. Don't leave your meaning dangling here. You stirred my thoughts into a spin, with that one shrug beneath your grin. I hate the way my calm got stripped. You flipped my script, you let it slip. So if I'm wrong, just kill the spark, but if I'm right, ignite the dark. I didn't ask for this parade of half-truths dressed in cool charade, but you, with all your wordless charm, you've wrapped my logic in alarm. One nod, one smirk, one look away, and now I chase what you won't say. So if we're not a rumor, fine, and tell the world you're not just mine. Say it loud or say it never, before I snap this thread forever. If we're a maybe, twist the knife, but if we're real, then claim this life. You play the breeze while notes, no claps to steal, just notes too raw, too sharp, too real. The storm was made for quiet crimes, for stolen keys and broken rhymes. But now you crash into my script with melodies the sky can't grip. Your thunder dressed in uniform, a sonnet tangled in the storm. I shouldn't watch, I shouldn't care, but lightning says he's really there. So if we burn, let's burn on beat. Do it where the wild things meet. He doesn't stop, he doesn't flinch, like thunder's just a minor glitch. The keys respond like they're alive, dancing through a power dive. My breath gets caught, my pulse rewinds, each note reveals his quiet mind. The rain slams hard, the windows shake, but he just plays like hearts don't break. Maybe he's played for ghosts before, with music locked behind a door. Maybe I'm trespassing his scene, but something here feels crystalline. He looks up once, I look away, like we just met in disarray. Two rebels in a hush so loud we disappear beneath the cloud. This story rode my after school, with rules that melt and moments rule. I found a symphony unsaid, a boy who bleeds in major red. Your chaos wrapped in perfect bars, like thunder flirting with the stars. I shouldn't stay, I shouldn't feel, but every chord just makes it real. So if we break, let's break in style. A blackout painted with a smile. They'll never know we shared this frame, a thunder-blessed untitled name. No selfies here, no filtered lies, just music flashing through the skies. If this is wrong, then let it sting. I'd still return for just one spring, to that hallway where silence cracked and found a song it never lacked. The storm was made for quiet crimes, but now we clash in secret limes. A pianist who tames the rain, with chords that drive me half insane. Your lightning held in fingertips, and I'm the breath that never slips. I shouldn't move, I shouldn't dare, but all I want is to be there. So if we run, let's run off beat, two shadows dancing in defeat. Dusty halls and creaky stairs, one bell rings, no one cares. 7 desks in the second row, half-lit dreams where no winds blow. They said this place is done and gone, but then one day you came along. Transfer slip and messy hair, with the kind of smile that doesn't care. Let's throw a fest, you boldly claimed, as if the school still knew its name. We painted signs with shaky hands, glue stuck hopes and paper plans. You taped the stars up way too high, said if we leap, we'll learn to fly. And I, who never dared to scream, scribbled dreams on a faded beam. We're ghosts in a festival no one sees, but we're shouting like 1,000 bees. Let this floorboard shake, let the curtains rise. In this broken place our hopes collide. No confetti, then we'll rip up fears, turn them into streamers through our tears. You said this promise we create, only here it resonates. So loud, so bright, we build, we burn, in a school that's too proud to turn. Cardboard dragons bent and wild, stage lights flicker, dreams compiled. He spins and trips but doesn't fall, claims the spotlight like a brawl. I fold the flyers, staple fade, one more day before too late. But something in this chaos sings like rusted bells with golden rings. We stitched a world from color storms and laugh them out. We're ghosts in a festival no one sees, but we exulting like defiant seas. Let the chalk fly high, let the windows glow with the future only we can show. No parade, then we march through flame, shouting each other's silly names. You said we're legends in disguise, at least before the bell denies. So loud, so bright, we carve, we claim, in a school too stubborn to be tame. One shot, one fest, one heart to lend. We made a start we cannot bend. The banner droops, the crowd is small, but we built the biggest stage of all. I'll meet you there when years go gray, behind that gym we lit today. Remember us, the bricks might say. Confetti goes who didn't play. We're ghosts in a festival no one sees, but we bloom like wild memories. Let this floor remember our bold pace, even if they erase this place. No lights, then we'll ignite our names in the ceiling tiles and hallway frames. You said no other path will stick, only this, only us, only quick. So loud, so fierce, we shout, we yearn, and in this school we live, we burn. Morning haze on the concrete sky, I sneak past halls where whispers lie. 7 a.m., my silent vow to dodge the noise, just breathe for now. Crack the lid on rice and doubt, one bite in then shove it down. The wind plays games with my hair, no one knows and I don't care. But footsteps echo, I freeze mid-bite, his shadow cuts the morning light. Why is he here? This isn't fair. That smirk says he's always been aware. I glance away, pretend I'm stoned, but he sees through the act I own. No words exchanged, just chopsticks clash. He laughs like glass about to smash. I didn't come here to be seen, didn't ask for rooftop routine, but now the war begins at noon. In the sky between sun and gloom, he's loud and we both know. There's fire where the cold winds blow. You read me like a comic strip, but I won't let you sink this ship. I'll turn this lunch into a stage, let chaos bloom inside this cage. Used to think I ruled this view, a silent queen with skies so blue. Now he's cracked the perfect frame, drawn graffiti on my name. He hums too loud, chews too bold, and I just want my piece to hold. But then I laugh despite my will, this rooftop's got a different thrill. He talks in riddles, snacks like this, I dodge his jokes, he counters with twists. Says you hate the class, I raise a brow like you don't. We're honest now, two rebels on a battered roof. Our silence starts to sound like truth. My armor's chipped, he leans in close, says guess we're both the almost ghosts. I didn't come here to be seen, didn't want some rooftop routine, but now the battle's kinda sweet between the wrong notes and heartbeat. I'm fire, he's fire, we both roar. This lunch ain't lonely anymore. You read me like an open book, but I write back with every look. This ain't me, this if my smart asylum turn question mark. Let's pretend we're just stray clouds, dodging bells and teacher shouts. Write our names in onigiri, one more bite then run, be free. If you tell, I'll say you lied, but maybe I'm glad you're by my side. Just for today, let's skip the race, stay rooftop kings of outer space. I didn't come here to be seen, didn't plan this quiet routine. But in your eyes I found a stage where solitude becomes outrage. He's weird, I'm worse, we pose in work. Something clicked in morning light. You cracked my calm, but that's okay. I'll duel you here, lunchbox ballet. broke a hidden scream where rooftop rebels chasing dream.
With wings, the sky held stars like scattered thoughts, and I sat quiet, pretending I'd forgot. The air was thick with pine and pause, every voice shared dreams with no applause. I almost laughed when someone said rock star. Then came his turn, and silence went far. He looked at the flames, not an enemy face. His voice was slow like it feared the space. I wanna write a book someday, so soft it lit my brain. The group just blinked like trees in wind, but my chest flinched like he'd let me in. He never talks in class, not once, but here his words weighed more than tons. Plot twist, I'm the stars that don't judge. A boy with ink behind a quiet grudge. He rewrote himself in burning light, and I saw his soul that night. No phones, no feeds, no digital breath, just the scent of smoke and sentences left. I never thought I'd hear that line, but it crashed through every fence in mine. The fire danced like a chorus line. I watched him more than I watched time. The logs collapsed, the moment grew, and something in me shifted too. His hands were calm, but eyes betrayed. A whole library left unsaid, unplayed. I wish the might get lost in dawn, but now I knew and couldn't move on. He didn't notice how I stared, or how the embers braided air. I wanted to say me too sometimes, but I held that dream like borrowed lines. Tomorrow we'd go back to phones, to homework schedules, subway tones. But tonight the world was made of prose, and he was the story no one knows. Plot twist in the hush of trees, where silence turns to symphonies. A wish confessed without a mask, and now I want to know him. Ask what kind of tales he hides in mind, where heartbreaks rhyme and worlds unwind. In that fire glow I saw his ink, and I forgot how not to think. I write his name on fogged up glass, a headline only feelings pass. Future author, heart unknown, and maybe I'll be chapter one alone. Plot twist and no applause, just midnight air and burning flaws. A dream too gentle for the day, but perfect in this fire's ballet. Plot twist and now I ache to be the story he might make, to turn this moment into text and write what happens after next. Let them talk of stars and fame. I heard a boy say his own name, not for glory, not to boast, but because he finally got that close. Skylit coral with a ghostly sheen, walking through Tokyo like it's a screen. Above the rooftops, bold and bright, a number floats in silent white. No one points, no one stares, just me and the humming morning air. 98 hovers in the sleepy blue, and I wonder if it's counting me too.
Every day, a digit less, ticking towards some great regress. No bells, no sirens, no alert, only quietly in my chest. Does the warning hurt? I ask the wind, I ask the clouds. Eventide didn't formed while the boot no one sees and no one replies. If you will, that number shrinks before my eyes.
Countdown in silence, heartbeat aligned. Truth wrapped in a digital sign. What if zero means erase and restart? What if it knows my fractured heart? I'm still here, walking this loop. Why Tokyo spins inside its soup? I've seen the edge, I've seen the light. A number falling through painted night.
It dropped again, now 85, still no one acting like we won't survive. I touch my phone but the screen is blank, my reflection distorted in the subway tank. They talk of weather, snacks and tests, I talk of skies and ticking threats. My smile's rehearsed, my laugh a shell. Wait till this invisible clock casts its spell.
He passed me once, looked to the sky. Just for a second, why, oh why? Did he see it too or sense the strain of something massive wrapped in plain? We shared a glance, I held my breath. For witnesses to a quiet death. But nothing changed and summary stayed, pretending like we understood. Countdown in silence, dressed in dawn. Every step like a ticking bomb. When it's year zero, will we fall? Or wake up having dreamt it all? This city, these shoes, these faded ties might all dissolve under rose-stained skies. But I keep walking, lips sealed tight. Eyes numbers fade into morning light. Maybe it's mine, a personal end. A metaphor dressed as a blinking friend. Maybe it's truth or just a test to see if I'll confess the rest. If no one sees, does it still count? Does existence need some kind of mount? But I'm still counting, breath by breath. Each step a question, each blink a guess. Countdown in silence.